Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. What is sensorality? What is a sensor? We continue to progress through our linguistic analysis to arrive at definitive syllability, a definition. How is a sensor naturally defined? Nothing really at the front of my head, just going through our steps until we arrive at our definition, but the overall derivation process will continue. We should be at the final reduction soon. We've said it a bunch, but we're running out of words and letters and stuff. Again, to this completion, incompleteness demonstration. But we continue on. What is presentation to filtration? Rhythm regulates filterality. Filter, rhythm. Again, the biggest word, our operative word, what is censorship? It is filtration. Filtration done by sentient beings. But just again, conceptually, filter, the linguistics, it feels like we haven't really been close to that, at least on a personal level. But again, this whole structure from rhythm to algorithm, what is a sensor? Right, light. It is all one big differentiation, one big proof. Is filtration thematic? Is filtration exponential? Is potential exponential? Sensorality is congressionality. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is congress to pressure? What is congress to regression? Is pressure regressive? Regression reverses. Fundamental theorem of physics, reversibility does not exist. Briefly touched on that in biology on one of the financial trading basics sections in the past couple days, but you can't reverse anything. Reversibility does not exist. You can't rewind time, you can't go backwards in time. Something very empirically true, and it's linguistically true as well. Again, the overall word form doesn't really feel like a natural word form. What is reversibility to reservability? Sensorality reverses reservation, direct iteration. Is reversal a change in direction? What is position to direction? Chirality positions, direct iteration. Is choice chiral? Is dichotomy chiral? Sensorality is reversality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality conserves reversibility. Sensorality is regenerability. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality generates, direct iteration. Sensorality is generationality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality regenerates. Sensorality is generality. Sensorality is venerality. What is venerality to viscerality? Is commemoration veneration? Direct iteration. Again, anytime I use is specifically with sensorality, it's always natural definition, direct iteration. Sometimes I just don't say it because there's a lot of steps and it's all the same thing. Just whatever gives natural cadence to the presentation. Sensorality commemorates consumption. Direct iteration. Sensorality resumes regeneration. Is synchronicity coincidental? Emphasizing the coincidence. Sensorality is incidentality. Sensorality is a sense of incidence. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is incidence dense? What is timing to coincidence? Sensorality is uncanny. Right? The resemblance is uncanny. Direct iteration phrasing. Sensorality is resemblance. Definitely hit that clearly before. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is regionality. Again, this natural physics presentation, a region of space. Regionality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Area is region, volume is region. Region, legion. Is region regal? Direct iteration. Sensorality is tenacious. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is tenacious tenable? Sensorality is tenaciality. Like just tenacious generalized. Tenacious tenaciality. That's the pronunciation. Sensorality is tenatiality. Natural definition, direct iteration. And that's what I'm saying is these logical, or these with these dichotomistic pairs, if I produce a word form that you don't know how to pronounce, it's built off of whatever other words with that dichotomistic pair. Is velocity tenacious? Is tenacious rapid? Audacity is tenacity. Sensorality is tenacity. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is tenacity to temerity? What is tenacity to tensionality? Does tenacity produce tension? Is tenacious tense? Is space tense? Tenacious, spacious. Again, spatiality is a generalization of speciality. A renormalization we went through a while ago, but that word form, spacious, tenacious, that ACIOUST, or again, just those letters, just emphasizing that structure. What is space to tension? What is tension to timing? Are all entrepreneurs founders? What is found to fund? Founders fund. Criminals, criminals. Sensorality finds funds. Direct iteration. Sensorality finds the time. Direct iteration. What is time to love? Sensorality is the love of the game. Natural definition, direct iteration. Consensus congregates. Sensorality is congressionality, or congregationality. What is congregationality to congressionality? Aggregation, aggravation. Sensorality is gateability. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is a gateway. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is a getaway. Sensorality is alibiality. Natural definition, direct iteration, literally ality on alibi. Sensorality corroborates alibi. Direct iteration. Sensorality is knowability. Direct iteration, natural definition, emphasizing there's two containments, right? Knowability, K-N-O-W, ability, is the ability to know, K-N-O-W, and then also knowability is the ability to say no. Direct iteration, sensorality is the ability to say no, right? Censorship says no. Natural definition, direct iteration, right? Consent is the ability to say no. Censorship is the difference between knowledge and awareness. What is awareness to politeness? Censorship is filtrationship. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is a friendship filter. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is friendship to censorship? Friendship, finish. Sensorality is dictatorship. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, all of these forms with ship at the end, like we've pointed out several times, sensorality and censorship have the same syllability, or the same elementality, not syllability, just the spacing. You can see it on your screen. And then in the general, these word forms with ship at the end are jumping out quite a bit, because again, this irreducibility that produces complete words, that's something important in terms of a class of syllability. What is dictatorship to authority? What is authority to autonomy? Is asylum abysmal? Direct iteration. Disorder is abysmal. Natural definition. Again, my rights continue to be violated so profoundly, extensively. My property is destroyed so profoundly and directly. I've been seeking asylum. That is not a joke or an exaggeration. Again, I am being persecuted for scientific discovery. No one cares. What is decoration to donation? Sensorality appreciates donation. Sensorality appreciates decoration. Direct iteration. Sensorality donates decorations. What is syllability to tenability? Are syllables tenable? Sensorality is deliberate deliberation. Natural definition, direct iteration. A pair, clearly direct iteration, but if you Deliberate seems kind of different contextually than deliberation. Deliberate is direct, deliberation is contemplation, is thinking. Worth pointing that out. Deliberation, liberation, right? Deliberation. Are definitions chiral? Is a sphere a region? Sensorality nullifies. Sensorality is nullifiability. Natural definition, direct iteration. The fiability we've definitely hit before. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but defiable, okay, that's what it is. Just pointing that out. Sensorality is distractibility. Natural definition, direct iteration. Understandable is tractable. What is knowledge to understanding? What is understanding to awareness? Sensorality is in good standing. Is in good standing in good faith? Direct iteration. What is vibration to proliferation? What is proliferation to appreciation? Sensorality is appeasement. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is east easy? Is least east? Least is easy. Natural definition, direct iteration. And again, there's this physical connection. When I say syllability, we have this sound, this irreducible unit of sound. The letters representing that is what I call linguistics. But there's some sort of completion within like the sound, the actual phonetic. We have least is easy. Again, we have this some sort of amount of completability of the actual letters. We have open conceptualization. You never solve everything or even close. But there's some sort of, again, containment or bounding to, again, the actual phonetic. That came to mind when I said least is easy. Again, the t, the d, the k are all like ending consonants, like harsh consonants. Just pointing that out, again, language is completely consistent. The fractal structure of mathematics, of physical properties being preserved and being scaled regardless of absolute size, which does exist. There should be, again, language is directly literal. All of this analytical progression should be directly reflected, emphasizing there's some sort of completeness of resonance. And that's an order of sound, that's this sound paired to that sound, that's this inverse or dissonant sound to this resonant sound, something to that effect. Is a poke a touch? What is a poke to a pole? Is exemplification exclamatory? Is exclamatory mandatory? What is literacy to fluency? Sensorality appreciates space, direct iteration. What is timing to space? What is synchronicity to consistency? Is consistent chronic? Is chiral chronic? Is tone chronic? Sensorality is tonicality. Sensorality is a sore core. Just did an ab workout, my core is sore, sensorality is a sore core. Natural definition, direct iteration. Are chips core? Are ships core? Is care core? Core is appreciated, right? Kind of a logical extension. Core is essential. Core is necessitated. Core is appreciated. Just our pairings to what is sensorality most recently and completely. Is sharp crisp? Is sharp brisk? What is position to preposition? Fundamental theorem of linguistics, sensorality is prepositionality. Natural definition, direct iteration. So if somebody said a preposition directly to you, you might think you know what that is, but again, we're at this weird place where it's, again, what is a preposition, right? When you go learn a new foreign language or a different language, the prepositions always stand out. Why? Right? Some sort of this chirality, this conjugation, this preserving consistency of a sentence that makes sense. And so overall, prepositions, again, doing something to preserve consistency, but the logical assignment of what a literally preposition, preposition, sensorality is just prepositionality, the linguistic function of prepositions, which aren't like properly identified, right? How many prepositions are there? Then we have all of these different amalgamations, into, just withstand, withstanding, just what comes to mind. There's a bunch of them. But what is identified in linguistics or just language studies when people say preposition? To me, that's not a well articulated what is that thing. Moving along. What is prepositionality to directionality? Fundamental theorem of logic. Logic is ordered. Censored is disordered. Natural definition, direct iteration. Reduction is conclusive. Natural definition. Is continuity conclusive? All right, what is consistency to continuity? I've hit that dichotomy a bunch, but things are discrete. There is consistency for sure. How do you have consistency without continuity? Still just pointing that out. Same with like series and sequence, these big dichotomies where they just pop up quite a bit. What is synchronicity to continuity? What is tenability to tentativity? Sensorality is tentativity. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is tentative. Tentative is pending. Natural definition. Sensorality is sedativality. Sensorality sedates. Direct iteration. What is sedation to vibration? What is sedation to sensation? Direct iteration. Sensorality is sedationality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is sedation numbing? What is intuition to containment? Does memory contain intuition? Does memorality contain intuition? Sensorality contains maintenance, direct iteration. Again, when I see the letters, I always put another syllable. You see maintenance, kind of, I don't know, I just point it out a bunch. It always happens. Containment bounds, direct iteration. Retaining preserves. What is recollection to preservation? Collecting gathers. Direct iteration. Fundamental theorem of geometry. Chirality is fractal. Fracticality is chirality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, this inversion process, this asymmetry is preserved regardless of scale. Big fundamental theorem of geometry. Chirality is fractal. What is chirality to charity? Is fractal integral? Is tension integral? Is integral viral? Integral is vital. Is gravity integral? Direct iteration. So just progressing through our analysis, again, we've demonstrated all of the major steps and analytical tools and considerations. We've been through all of the major proofing. Again, there will be some big massive reductions for sensorality. Again, should be soon, but I've been done saying that for like 7 months. We just keep going, but again, my rights are profoundly and extensively violated. I continue to beg for a little bit of money, to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work. My life quality remains at zero. All of my property is destroyed. I will never have a career and a family, and I will never be able to simply walk into a grocery store and have the assurance and awareness that I can afford food. I can sustain my own life. I have no expectation it will ever change. So to my estate, as I said, press every charge that you possibly can, and do not let anybody in history ever say there is laws or there are rights or there are good people. The only person that works hard is me. The only person that's contributing to this community and to this society is me. Everybody else just lies, cheats, and steals, plays a bunch of games, and then fucks around. We just need to get to the point where you find out. But that will never happen, and the law is just a piss-on joke. So that is what I have for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.